you don't have to live stream it. It's open to the public.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to live
That
stream
was just our option. Here it is now, but.
Could you tell when we're on?
We're on.
We're on?
It says it's live.
All right, then we'll call the meeting of the inspectors of the Carbon County Jail to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let the record reflect that we do have a quorum present. As far as members of the prison board not in attendance, Judge Nanovic, Commissioner Lucas Savage, Commissioner Noteside, they'll be deemed as excused for today. The proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of the written minutes. Tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings. Are there any guests in attendance? There being none, let's move to the official actions of the inspectors of Carbon County Jail. Approval of minutes from the meeting held, it was a regular meeting on June 15th. Do I have a motion to accept those minutes?
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Rocky, second by
Mark.
Mark. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The report of executive session, there is no report of the executive session. The executive session we announced when we came out of that executive session. Reports of committees, maintenance report.
Sykes Brothers was in for their monthly service. Trumco, the roofers, basically everything's done, and I haven't seen any leaks, but we're just waiting for the railing section to go around the roof hatch. We're still waiting for the line painting to be completed for the paving project as well. They still have to come and paint where it says the reserve, the arrows, the stop bar, which that they said was in their contract, but they didn't realize that the street coming in and out had the double yellow lines and the white lines alongside the street. So I guess Carbon Engineering is working on that. We changed all the batteries in both of our generators, so we're good for the next 5 years with our batteries. KFS came in to fix an issue with the door panel on female 2 block. Sills was in to fix the left washing machine in the main laundry. We replaced the gate valve in the right washing machine in the main laundry. The annual flushing of the fire hydrants was completed. Howard Refrigeration was in to work on the walk-in freezer because it was icing up. They also came in then and replaced the temperature probe in the walk-in cooler. We started cleaning coils on all the rooftop units. When Train was in, they said it's good that we need to clean them and we need to go up and continue getting those cleaned so that the units work properly. They did their quarterly maintenance and they found issue with 2 of the heat exchangers. One has a crack in it and the other one has a hole in it, which is similar to the same situation we had last year, but luckily we found it in the summertime for the heat, not in the winter. We did receive the quote, and I know I gave it to Jody, so I hope she sent it to everyone.
included.
Okay. So if we can get that moving along, because I didn't find out yet what the lead time is for these heat exchangers. I did give a call in to see, because I know what I said, one of the units is rather old. So I did have a call in to see if we can get a price for the total replacement, which is ever feasible. As soon as I get that, I will send that price down as well. Hobart was in. We have the new dishwasher and the new garbage disposal in the kitchen. Pump house progress. John Alvarez was in. He worked on pump 2. He couldn't get it working right. He talked to the manufacturer. He came back, made more adjustments, which still did not fix the issue. He contacted the manufacturer, and they're supposed to be sending out a new wet end to replace that section. I texted him yesterday if he heard anything about when it's coming in. He has not gotten back to me.
Anything else? Anybody have any questions?
So in regards to the maintenance stuff, I know it's not the fault of any of you gentlemen that are up there, but in regards to the paving and the roof, it seems like these projects are just continuing to not be resolved,
Correct.
right? So, you know, we're every month we come in here, you know, the the paving is delayed, now they're waiting to do lines, we're waiting for the stuff on the roof. In my opinion, these open-ended items need to be buttoned up. You know, so I don't know what we need to do to put some deadlines in there for them, but, you know, I'd like to see these things just checked off the list and we're done and we move forward. So I don't know if anybody has any suggestions.
No, I agree with
What
that
we do
too,
with
because
those
it's
people.
like all of our projects, they come back, and even like on some of these, they can't get parts for us, then find somebody else that can get parts. You know,
Yeah, I mean, if it's a supply chain issue, I get it.
Right.
That's not the case with painting lines and putting the stuff on the roof, like, and I.
Well, the lines, I guess it was some kind of plastic thing that they put it down and they melt it onto, for the reserve and stuff. And that, I guess they're waiting for. But the way I understand, it was never in the bid to redo the lines on the road in and out. So I guess Carbon Engineering is working on that.
So do we need to work through Carbon Engineering to set a deadline?
I'll call them as soon as the meeting's over.
Just so we could wrap those up, cause I know that stuff on the roof is kind of a safety
Well,
issue.
the thing I don't understand is, they put all the railings up by all the ladders. But from the way I believe it is, it's something similar to that, is what's gonna go around the hatch.
And I don't know if.
And
we
you
got-
would have thought that would have been one of the first things, if the hatch is open, it would
Right.
fall in the hole. That would have thought, I would have thought would have been one of the first things that would have been done. And I said, I just run across this all the time. With our project that we're working on now, I found some issues with the other project, like they just missed it altogether, and it's something that is important to the, it's like, I don't know, I'll call Carbon Engineering when I get out of here.
I have some questions and a suggestion. The suggestion is on these contractors, when they have these issues, and it's important, obviously, they're communicating with you, Rodney, and the warden, but maybe the horse's mouth, as it were, could communicate with the prison board via an email or something. This is our issue, this is how long it's gonna take to resolve, so we know, not second, third hand, what they're saying and not saying, so we don't lose anything in translation, as it were, so that we go back to them and say, oh, I didn't say that to Rodney, I said 4 weeks, not 2 weeks, you know, stuff like that, because this, like Dan says, it drags on forever and ever. So that's a suggestion I would make, that maybe they could communicate in writing, you know, what the issue is, how long to resolve it, and, you know, so we know, than just verbally what they're saying. That's a suggestion. Then the questions, on the rooftop units, I wonder, and how many rooftop units are there?
There's 9 rooftop units.
9, okay, and do we know the age of all the units, and are the,
I do have a file with the majority of that, I'd have to go through and look to see
Alright.
which ones are which.
and that the
age.
maintenance is up to date, because I said this before numerous times, you know, heating goes in the middle of the winter, and air conditioning goes in the middle of summer.
Right.
So when you have a proactive maintenance schedule, you try to avoid those things from happening. So, and then back to the perennial issue with this pump house, do we get any kind of ruling from anybody really knowledgeable? Is it the right pump, the wrong pump, is it installation, is it application, like what is the
I don't know,
problem?
Was Wayne gonna check?
Well,
or
Wayne was gonna
something?
look
Yeah.
into it, I don't know if he really got an answer from it, but it's like an issue here, like it just keeps going and going.
We're
I
about
mean-
ready for another one to fail soon based on how
Well,
often that
and
happens.
that's what I said, it's like, I
You'll be
think
getting a
it's,
phone call tomorrow when I go in now.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Rodney.
Yeah, it's just.
And I hate to say hire somebody else, but do we need another engineer that's a specialist in water systems, that he or she could say, it's the pump, it's the manufacturing, it's the application, it's the wrong pump or whatever, so we kinda get to the bottom of this, this is going on and on and on.
The company's done work for the county, and I know that same company's involved up at the training center with the pump system.
Well, let's hope we don't expect the same issues there.
well, then they're right there, they should be right on it. Like, I mean, that's something, I said, we keep moving on to projects and projects. And I said, like, one of these projects is done, and our issues are still not resolved on some of these other projects. Like, we just keep doing this, we gotta stop this, we gotta hold these people, their feet to the fire, and, like, we're just wasting entirely too much money.
Well, and I know sometimes in a contract, things get buried and overlooked. I'm wondering if we're not doing a schedule of deliverables, that we can track specifically what they need to do and by what date. And then I know a lot of times there are penalties associated with, when the contract isn't done. So I don't know if that's something, the things that we're waiting on that I mentioned, I think they're small things that don't take a lot of time, but, this seems to be repeating itself, not just at the prison, but, in potential other areas in the county that, having a list of those deliverables that we can very clearly see, track, and review on a regular basis, to kind of hold people's feet to the fire a little bit. And again, I understand there's staffing issues sometimes and supply chain issues. I think that's different, but I think we should be looking.
Well, a line down the middle of the road is a little something different. Like, if I would've missed a line, I would've been here tomorrow to do it.
Yeah, I get it.
That's like, I mean, like, or what are we putting out in these RFPs when they do these, when they come out and put this out and then walk the job sites to see what's
Yeah.
done? Doesn't anybody ever bring anything up? Or is it just a game, so we got another change order to do, that we're gonna get money? And I said, a lot of times the lowest bid does not work. And sometimes you get into that. Is that a situation we're at now? I mean, they should be out there and paint that line. It's a safety issue, Like, if there's a road on the state highway, I think when the state high blacktops it, they line it that day. How would it go with the state highway going out of the road is curved, blacktop and not put a line on there for like 3 weeks? How do you think that will work out? This is a highly trafficked area that's run all the time and we don't have a line. Alright.
So hopefully Carbon Engineering can give us some answers, Brock, and then see what we need to do from there, and that's all I have.
I just have a question, cause we're doing this, like we get this on a monthly basis. And I know we're not party to the contract, correct, Ellie?
Excuse me?
Any of these projects relating to the prison, the prison board isn't a party to the contract.
No.
So what we do is we say, all right, we need a new roof. Yeah, we agree, we need a new roof. Well, they're gonna put it out on bids, the commissioners take care of all that. Now, if there's things that aren't being done with it, and I like your suggestion that we be made aware directly, but really, are we making those decisions on whether a change order needs to be done? We don't, it's the commissioners that have the contract.
Right, but we would still recommend to the commissioners? And how could we recommend without the right amount of information? Right?
Just that we don't have the ability to, whether we recommend or not, we're meeting once a month.
Right, right.
That's my issue with it. When he
Right.
brings it up, it's like on a monthly basis.
Well, I guess my other point was if we had that more positive flow of information, we'd be more aware on a timely basis
Would be
between meetings. Well, hey, they're telling Rodney they can't get the part, or it's a labor issue or something. We wouldn't know that till the following meeting.
Right.
So, just a suggestion.
All right. Well, let's see if we can open a channel of communications there. We wanna do that. Give us the contact people. We'll talk on it. All right. All right. Work release report.
Okay, before I get on to the work release report, I don't know if you've seen in your packet, Sergeant Flexer wrote a letter to the board, and he wanted to thank them for allowing him the opportunity to take over as work release treatment director while Mr. Schubeck was out on the mend. He did a fine job, kept the work release department running, also did some work with in-house inmates, and he did a good job, and I just wanted to recognize him here at the meeting.
Okay, no, thank you for that.
Gordon, do you have any kind of recognition type awards or things like that that you could do, or that's in place for your staff there, that at least it goes in a personnel file or something?
Not since I got back, but we can work on something.
Because I think this would be a good example
Yeah.
with, Sergeant Candy you mentioned the other day,
Oh,
Sergeant
yeah.
Flexer.
Yeah.
You have some people that are doing an outstanding job. I think they should be recognized.
Yeah, cause even if it goes in their file, like,
Yeah.
we're gonna make decisions on people somewhere along the
Mhm.
line moving up.
Yeah.
And we have to gauge on what they've been doing, if they're gonna do a good job for us in the future. So I think that's a good idea, maybe to get something, just put a recommendation in their file.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Like I said, he did a fine job and he enjoyed doing the job. He threw himself into the job.
Well, we thank for what he did, and we thank Frank for, I guess, coming back, right?
Welcome back, Frank.
As far as the work release report from June 15th through July 20th, we had 8 people on work release at one point or another during that time span. Right now, we have 5 on work release. 1 was released, 2 were moved off for disciplinary reasons. I talked to Mr. Schubeck this morning. I think he has 3 people in the bullpen warming up for Monday to get out on the program, so we're moving forward on work release as well. And Frank mentioned he does his work release report a little bit different than Mr. Schubeck does. He's going back to that for next month.
There'll be a collection sheet that shows the finances for the month. So starting this month, you'll see a running tab of things like room and board costs and fines, and it'll show up on a monthly basis. Then at the end of the year, it'll be grand total. So from now on to the end of the year, you'll see a running tab as we've done traditionally with the program.
That's all I have for the work release.
Okay, our plan of action committee.
So I'll just run through this real quick. We did have a chance to meet this week, and just some quick updates. In regards to the tablets, we're waiting for GTL to come in. It suggested that they'll do a demo with the plan of action committee while we're there meeting. We want to kind of finalize the apps that the warden and his team feel are necessary. And also, that goes in coordination with the tablets. We received an updated quote regarding Polycom systems. That was a project from last year. And as I met with the Polycom rep and looked at the pricing, and the Zoom licenses and all these other things that go along with it, although there's a big benefit, my question to the warden, and I think that we all had, was, is there a way to put this Polycom Zoom technology on the tablets, if we're already gonna have them, and save the cost of Polycoms and just have 4 or 5 dedicated tablets with that function to meet with the DA, the public defender, to call into court, whatever it may be, because then you wouldn't need the whole Polycom system, which is a significant cost. So we're gonna talk to GTL about that, and then be able to come back with a recommendation to the larger group. The implementation plan continues to be updated. The warden is waiting to finalize with Smith Detection to get a unit in for demo, and then once we have that unit, anybody who wishes to see it can go there, schedule time with the warden or deputy warden, and view that. Johnson Controls, I'm waiting for their contract person to send me the maintenance agreement that we've been waiting on. And then, I'm thinking these other items may be in the warden's report, so I'll hold off on those. But, again, I left that meeting, being very thankful to the warden, deputy warden, and his team for the hard work and effort that they're putting into bringing things into compliance, and in a lot of ways, I think exceeding my expectations for the amount of work that they've done in a very short period of time. And they continue to check things off of that list. And I think this plan of action committee was a real good way for us to stay on top of these more pertinent issues, and them to be able to communicate for help, and we can push some things through. So that's all I have for plan of action committee.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Technical Security Committee. I think what happened with that was it kind of overlapped, because they were supposed to deal with a couple issues, and they kind of got into the plan of action anyway. So I'm gonna officially, as the president of the prison board, disband and eliminate the Technical Security Committee, since I think it overlaps. So that'll be off on our next agenda. Warden's report.
Okay, for the time period of June 1st through June 30th, we had 60 male admissions and 25 female admissions. Releases were 71 on the male side, 26 on the female side. Average daily population was 152 for the time period. Totals as of 6:30 in the facility were 108 males, 19 females. Total admissions for the 2022 calendar year are 546. We had 11 runs outside the facility for hospitals or specialist eye doctors, et cetera, and 5 days of hospital.
Anybody have any questions? for the
I
board?
just have a question on how is it going with our new healthcare stuff we're doing? Is it cutting down on trips to the hospital or?
I don't know if it's cutting down on those trips, but it's been very positive for us, because mainly for the mental health aspect, that's where we see the big change. People see mental health pretty much daily. If it's not with the doctor, it's with telepsych, so that's been a big help for us. People come in and we place them on suicide watch when we find them to be a risk, or somebody on the block maybe presents suicidal ideation. We get them seen right away by someone from Prime Care. They're cleared or their treatment is continued, and what I like about Prime Care that we didn't have at the facility is there's follow-up. If they see you today and they clear you from watch, they're still gonna see you next week and 2 weeks down the line and 30 days down the line to make sure you're okay. There've been a lot of positives. There have been some hospital runs, but it's usually after hours when they too call their on-call doctor, and I think they err sometimes on the side of caution too and want them seen at a local ER. But overall, it's been very positive.
And how's it with Carbon Monroe Pike coming in? Are they in regularly that you know of, or how often do they come in?
The drug and alcohol.
Yeah,
Well, we had the recent COVID scare where we
Yeah.
were shut down for 3 weeks, so they were informed as of Monday that we're opening it.
okay,
They have
so,
not yet been in yet, anyway.
so they'll be coming in either next
Yeah.
week
Hopefully
possibly.
next week,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
And Warden, has the improvement of on-site care happened with better staffing with Prime Care? And other
Yeah. Yeah, they are still working to add more staff, but,
Okay.
it's not a one nurse operation anymore. It's a bigger operation than we've ever been used to up there, and it's very effective.
Good. I think the other concern sometimes was the administration of the drugs as well. That's, I'm sure, better as well.
No issues.
Okay, thank you.
There are a couple other things I wanted to mention from our meeting that I think the warden didn't include in his report, but they had 15 staff trained on the body scanner, so it's a good representation for all the shifts, so that can be utilized more effectively. 5 officers are in firearms training for instructors this week, which I think was a significant move forward. 3 staff are signed up to be first aid instructors, so they'll be able to conduct their own first aid, CPR, AED training within the prison. They've made some significant progress in regards to implementing PREA, and that's, I mentioned Sergeant Candy earlier. According to the warden and deputy warden, she really took the ball and ran with that in a positive direction and did an excellent job. The post orders are over 90% completed. Ballistic vests have been received. The inmate handbooks have been developed. We got a Prime Care update, and the new service provider food service provider seems to be working out well also. So again, just running through those things without a lot of description, you can see the tremendous amount of work that's being done, and I think the warden and his team deserve a lot of credit for that.
Thank you, Warden. Is there a motion to accept the warden's report?
So moved.
Motion made and seconded, and Mark, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do we need an executive session? Okay, then personnel report.
I don't usually read that, but.
Do I need a motion to accept the personnel report? Not bad. Well, have a motion to accept the personnel
Yeah,
report. We'll make that by Rocky. I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And I just wanna say one thing about the personnel report, it's good to see that, I mean, it isn't good to see somebody leaving, but usually it was like 3 or 4 leaving and hiring 1. Now we have 1 leaving and 3 being hired. So are we stealing the guards from Monroe County? Cause I seen on the newspaper, the news last night, they're having a tough time, I guess, out there.
Well, The one we lost was poached by Luzerne County, so,
Oh, yeah?
but we didn't poach from Monroe County.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding, but I mean, it's good to see that, and I think, I wanna maybe piggyback on Dan, that it's going well up there, and I think that's reflecting back on how we're hiring people. I mean, I think people wanna work here. So thank you for Gordon and the staff for what you have done.
Well, that's why I wanted to follow up and ask, how is our staffing level? Or you still have a number of unfilled positions?
I'll turn that over to the deputy warden, that's been his baby from day one.
Yeah, we still have a couple unfilled positions, we have a couple coming through the pre-employment process,
Okay,
so, but we're much better now than we were a couple weeks ago.
good, good,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, any new business?
I think everything that's on the list, new business, we've already have discussed.
Okay,
Sheriff,
any old business,
again, same thing, we've discussed all of it.
correspondence? Solicitor's report? Oh, you're here, look at that. You wanna get, you only have one strike.
leave early.
Well, I don't wanna have extra strikes on you. Alright, nothing from our solicitor. Is there any further business, anything good, good for the order of the inspectors of the Carbon County Jail?
The only thing I was gonna mention was about the meeting time and date for 2023. I don't know if that's something to discuss here or not.
Sure, if it's our meetings.
Yeah, well, I'm secretary of the prison board and secretary of the retirement board, and the retirement board meets the third Thursday after the commissioners' meeting. Prison board is the third Wednesday, and as I said in the email, we typically have a number of times a year, one of our consultants coming in on Wednesday before, like today, but they're not coming in today, to do an education session or providing some update for us. And when the prison board, some of the meetings would run longer, we either had to crunch the meeting time down or just we couldn't have it. So I was looking to see if we couldn't possibly move either the time of the prison board to the morning if we keep the same time of the month, or move the day and time to another, I said second or fourth Wednesday at 1:30, or possibly 9 AM in the morning on the third Wednesday, which is two suggestions. There obviously could be more.
What was, the mornings, as far as I'm concerned, I can't do because that's drug court.
Okay,
So, and Wednesdays aren't a good day all around because I can't do preliminary hearings then because, or if I'm assigned to one, or there's a special one, because that's our preliminary hearing day. So Wednesdays have always been bad for district attorney's office.
okay.
That being said, you know, if you wanna do a different time in the afternoon, or move it to a different day, or is it better for the commissioners to do like a Thursday and we
Well,
move it to
I was just gonna say that we have our meeting on a Thursday. If we'd have the other meeting at 1:30, is that a problem, or what do you think, Ellie? I mean,
You have
it's up to
everybody
you.
there.
I mean, I wouldn't mind having all the
The
meetings in
only
one
thing-
day and get them over with.
The only thing, if there was something that occurred at the prison board meeting on a Thursday afternoon
That we
and had to
need
go to the commissioners, it would have to wait a
to the
week.
following
Right.
week.
Howard,
That's the only item.
Howard, Tuesdays.
Tuesdays are fine. Tuesdays good, good?
Well, the week that we have prison board, we do security meeting Tuesday morning, chief's meeting Tuesday morning, then there's a safety meeting Tuesday afternoon
Yeah,
at
that's at
1:30.
1:30.
So we would either have to change the time of that or do the prison board after that at 2:30.
Well, we
Our
know-
meetings don't go more than an hour.
But you want it for the beginning of the year, right?
For 2023.
So why don't we
Right,
just
just the-
try and
List
figure it
it
out
out.
so
Yeah,
the next,
sure.
the next
Okay.
meeting, figure out what works out best for everybody, and then at the next meeting, we can pass it on. But
Yeah, when we have
wouldn't-
everybody here.
Sure.
We wouldn't approve
Sure.
it until what,
No.
October or
Right,
something anyway,
right.
Ellie, right? When do you do that schedule? Is that October or November that we gotta post it?
Usually in December.
Oh, okay, well
You
then.
just have to advertise your meetings.
Yeah, we'll
We
just-
decided today that we wanted to change it, we just have to advertise,
We'll just have to-
that's all. But it's usually good to get it in one shot.
Right.
Like for the whole county.
Right.
Then you're not paying additional advertising.
Right, sure. Okay, I just wanted to bring it up earlier, so.
But we, like I said, we could change whatever we wanna change,
Mhm.
even like tomorrow if we wanted to, we just have to make sure it's advertised, cause it's a public meeting.
Okay.
Alright, we'll go over that then. Any further business? Alright, right, then